I am videoing it so that you can practice it again if you want to. There is also, I'm making these up as I go. So yesterday, I posted a practice quiz for the other class. So if you want to watch theirs with a different set of problems, you can, okay? On Monday, when you come in, we are not, NOT, not going to run through all 4 problems again. This is your chance, okay?
So our quiz is 4 problems.
Your quiz is 4 problems. The circle, it's just exactly like the one I handed back when I had that bubble on it. If you are worried about forgetting things, then you need to watch this video or watch the video of the other class or watch both to refresh yourselves. Everybody clear on that? Here we go. Problem number 1, and I won't do these in any particular order. Let's do this one first. Okay, here we go. Anybody know what this is? That's a parabola. Very good, Phil. And we know it's a parabola because why? What's special about a parabola? There's only one of the parentheses that is squared. All the rest of them have 2 squared parentheses. This one has only 1. So for a parabola, you don't have to remember this. I'll have the list there. You need the vertex, the focus, the directrix, and the focal width. Also, I ran the quiz off on graph paper so that you'll have graph paper automatically there. The whole quiz is on graph paper, so you'll be able to do counting maybe a little more easily. All right, here we go. Where's my vertex? 2, -3. What is my focal width? 20. Now, what? Oh, okay, here we go. 2, -3. Let me catch up. 2, -3. There's my vertex. Now, which way does this parabola open?
Down.
If you said down, you are right. Correct. If you don't get it, look back at the rules that I gave you earlier. You got to know the rules. X squared is up and down. Y squared is sideways. So this guy opens down because it's a negative. Now, I know somewhere in here is my focus and somewhere up here is my directrix. Okay? You should get your head up, sweetie. Now, in order to know where those things are, I need to know how far up and down I need to go. So how do I determine how far up and down I go in a parabola? It has to do with this number right here. That number is 4p. So 4p is 20. What does that mean then? I'm going to start right here and go down 5. Well, if I start at this point, and again, I'm giving you the whole quiz is on graph paper, so you can just count. But if I'm starting at this point and I go straight down 5, where am I going to be? I'm going to be at 2, -8. Right? Straight down. Now, if I came straight down for the focus, that's my focus, 2, -8 is my focus, I'm going to go up 5 for my directrix. Now, you're going to be tempted to say this is the point 2, 2, and it is, but that is not your directrix. Your directrix is the line that crosses the y-axis at 2. Your directrix is a line. Y equals 2. Does anybody have a question about where one of those numbers came from? Okay, you got it? All right, let's look at our second equation. And these aren't in any order. I'm just doing them as I think of them. Here's our second equation. Here we go. Anybody want to take a guess what this is? That's an ellipse. Very good. This is an ellipse. So for an ellipse, I'm going to ask you for the center, the vertices, the foci, the major, and the minor axis. So that list will be there. You don't have to remember it. You just need to remember how to get all those things. So again, just like with the parabola, some of that is gimme. Some of that is, if you miss it, you just have been, I don't know, asleep. Where's the center? -1, -2. Everybody gets that right. -1, -2. Now, what do those 16 and that 25 tell me to do?
Go up, go over 4 and up 5.
The 16 tells me to go left and right 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If this is the point, -1, -2, and I go left and right 4, where will I be? If I go right 4, where will I be? And again, this is all going to be on graph paper, so it'll be easy for you.
3,
But where will this be? 3, -2? And then if I back up 4, backing up 4, -5, -2. Now, what does that 25 tell me?
Up and down 5.
Up and down 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what are the coordinates of those points? If I start here and go up 5, where am I? -1, 3. And here I would be -1, -7. Good. Now those 4 points are the vertices. You're going to put them over here in whatever order. The order doesn't matter. We're just going to list them all right here. Right? Now, once you've done that, getting the major and the minor should be simple for you. Major means long. Which way did you go the longest? Up and down or sideways? Up and down. So you went up and down 5, which means the major axis must be 10. You went sideways 4, which means the minor must be 8. Now, I think that much is pretty easy. This focus stuff is a little bit trickier. Your focus points are always on the long direction. So they're going to be up here someplace. You know what I'm going to say? Let's get half credit. What do we know about those 2 red points?
-1.
Something's -1, right? They're on the -1. Now, in order to find the other part, you need to know how far up you need to travel, right? Anybody remember how to find that distance from the center to the focus? Anybody remember how to do that?
Subtract 25.
Subtract 25 and 16 and take the square root. So you are going to move up 3. So my picture's off a little bit, but that's okay. Nobody's grading the picture. I'm going to go up 3. So where would I be if I started here and went up 3? -1, 1. And what if I go down 3?
-1, -5.
Perfect. Those red things are your focus points. You are done with problem number 2. All right. Anything about that one? All right. X squared plus 8x plus y squared minus 10y equals 6. What in the world is this? Well, I'm going to complete the square because this is a circle, and you need to find the center and the radius, and if your equation is in standard form, that's easy, but this equation's not in standard form. So we're going to do our completing the square, right? Now, I'm nice, the x's are already together. Normally I have to rearrange, right? I don't have to this time. So I have x squared plus 8x plus blank, y squared minus 10y plus blank, and that's going to equal what? What's it going to equal? 6 plus blank plus blank. Don't forget the 6, and don't forget the 2 blanks. Right? Here we go. Paul, what goes in this first blank?
Half of 8 squared.
So that would be?
16.
16. Yes, you said it exactly right. Half of 8 squared. So that would be 16 on both sides. All right, what goes here? 25. Half of 10 squared, 25. You did it so that you could write this like this, right? What goes in here for this guy right here? X plus 4. And you need the same thing for the y's. This one's going to be y minus 5.
Equals square root of 47.
And it's going to total up to 47. So the center is at negative 4, 5, and the radius is root 47. Remember, this number is r squared. X squared, y squared, r squared. Anybody wondering about something up there that I did? All right, and there's one more problem on the quiz. It's a big one though, so I'm going to have to erase some of this stuff. The one problem on the quiz is going to be something like this. This guy is a hyperbola. So what we need to figure out for the hyperbola is the center, the vertices, the foci, the transverse axis, the conjugate axis, and the asymptotes. Wow, there's a lot of stuff. Like the other ones though, some of it's real easy, some of it's automatic. What do you know about this hyperbola? Watch it, watch it, watch it.
Oh,
Negative 4, negative 1. The center is at negative 4, negative 1. Did anybody fall for negative 1, negative 4? No, be careful. It's got to be x, comma, y. So we're at negative 4, negative 1. Right? Now what do you do? So you got that done. That's the center. Good. Now what? Let's start counting. What does that 16 tell me to do?
4
Up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What about the 9?
3 across.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, do I connect those with an oval? No. This is a hyperbola. Here's your clue. You need asymptotes. So the asymptotes are not coming from an oval, they're coming from a box, rectangle, square. It's not a square, but it's the same idea. We're going to make a rectangle, right? And then we're going to draw in the diagonals of the box. Right? And then we have to talk about the big question, and that is, does this hyperbola, Is it one of those that opens up and down, or is it one of those that opens sideways? Because you could get either one from this picture. Which is it?
Sideways.
I'm hearing, am I seeing Caesar go like this over there? Tag? Somebody's hand's over there doing that. The hyperbola opens up and down. So tag, you are exactly right. The letter that comes first in a hyperbola, the letter that comes first is the way you open. So since Y comes first, it's Y, opens up and down. These 2 points right here are the vertices. How did I get those? Where did those come from? I started at the center, and what did I do? Up and down 4. So if I start at the center and go up 4, that would be what point? You're going straight up. -4, 3. And then straight down. -4. How many am I going down? 4? So that'd be -4, -5. And those are your vertex points. So -4, -5, and -4, 3. Those are your vertices. How long's your transverse axis? It's 8. Why is your transverse axis 8?
Because you're moving up 4 and down 4.
Because these are the vertices, transverse vertices, and you went up and down 4, that's 8. How long's this one? 6, sideways 3. Now we're almost done. Here we go. We need to find our focus points, and they're going to be in here. Look at that. Tell me about those green points. What do you know? Look where they are. What do you know about all those points in that line right there? They all have a -4. So whatever they are, they're -4 something. Now how am I going to find this something? Well, I need to know how far to go. Remember, the center is where everything starts. So you're building out from the center. How do I find this distance right here, the center to the focus? How do I do that? The square root of 16 plus 9, so that will be 5. So if I start here and go up 5, where am I? -4, 4. And if I go down 5, I'm at -4, -6. Starting right here and going up and down 5. Now what's left? Asymptotes. And the asymptotes are lines. So what are we going to start with since the asymptotes are lines? Y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to write it down twice because there's 2 of them. You remember what we said about the slope? Rise over run. And it will be the same except one of them is positive and the other one is negative. So think about starting at the center. We counted up how many? We went up 4 and over 3. So my slope is 4/3 or -4/3. Now what y and x am I going to use? Every time, what y and x am I going to use? The center. So I'm going to put in a -1 for the y, a -4 for the x, for both ones. And now I gotta figure out what B is. And you're gonna have a calculator, so you can do this on a calculator if you need to. Remember, when you multiply these two together, it's top times top and bottom times bottom. So I'm gonna add 16/3. So I have -1 plus 16/3. That's -3/3 plus 16/3. So B is 13/3. And one of my asymptotes is y equals 4/3 x plus 13/3. Now what's the other one? Well, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So -1 equals positive 16/3 plus b, because I multiply top times top and bottom times bottom. Subtracting 16/3. -1 minus 16/3 is -3/3 minus 16/3. So I get -19/3. So my other line, my asymptote, is -4/3 minus 19/3, if I haven't made any mistakes so far. Okay? So what does the quiz look like on Monday? Everything we just did. 4 problems, maybe in a different order.
Yeah, man.
What are we going to do on Sunday night if we feel like we've forgotten some stuff? Watch the video. Work through the problems again. And maybe the one from yesterday, too. Did you turn that off?
Yep.